Hello and welcome to Business with Smith Co. Hello and welcome back to Business with Smith Co. So in the last video we were looking at sole traders. So do check that video out, because remember, checking videos out does help, because when you view them, then you viewed it, and then it's like, yeah, you viewed it, that's good. Thank you to everyone who viewed it. Anyway, so let's move on to partnerships. So a partnership is a business owned between 2 and 20 people. So professional practices usually form partnerships. These are, for example, solicitors, accountants, and architects. So this is the kind of thing where you're providing a service, but it's like a professional service. The thing that it's a service, but you need to, generally you need to get a degree in it, or there's generally a little bit more than just probably, you can do it. So formation of a partnership is really, so in my country at least, you have to register. So partnerships, they complete forms, then they have to submit it to a company's registration office. Then a deed of partnership is signed. This is a contract between the partners that lists their rights and obligations in the partnership. For example, how profits are distributed between them. Liability. A partnership has unlimited liability. So should the business go bankrupt, the partnership will lose more than they initially invested in it. However, it is better than a sole trader business in the sense of this, because if you're in a sole trader business and your business goes bankrupt and you have to pay the debts, let's say the business's debts is 100 grand, you owe 100 grand. But if you're in a partnership and you've got 3 partners, then personally, as long as that's in your agreement, and as long as it's within your agreement that the debt gets split between you, then that's a lot less debt for you to go to. Finance. Between 2 and 20 partners can invest their savings and that they can access the finance from financial institutions into the business. Control. The decisions that are made within the partnership they're shared by the partners. Now there are obviously some advantages to a partnership, and there obviously are also some disadvantages. So there are advantages such as the risks and decisions are shared. So this may reduce stress for the owners and should lead to better decisions that are more effective. Because obviously, let's say these videos, let's say I'm under a bunch of stress because it's okay, I've got actual ordinary work, and then I've also got, this, and then I've got this, and I've got this, and I've got this, and I've got this, and this, and this, and this, and the amount of work you're actually taking on, obviously, the less there is there, the more, stress you will actually be able to do. And obviously, at a certain point, you won't really have any stress. And, all the way down from there, it's the same thing. But at a certain point, most people will tend to become very, very stressed. Different partners bring different experiences and skills, which means a business can have a wide access to a wide range of expertise. This is important because you don't want a business that has a flat sort of, oh yeah, you can do this. You can do it as well. And so can you. 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 You don't want that. You want a business to have a diverse area where people can do different things. And maybe, a business needs to have a couple of people who can do the exact same thing. But it's also good to have a little bit of a diverse area you got there. Now, next you have, it can raise far more funds, a partnership, than a sole trader. As obviously, as I said, it can have more than it can have more than one. It can have 2 to 20 partners who can invest. And more than that, if I not start a business, but if I approach a bunch of people and I say, I want to come in partnership with you, I don't want you to invest as a bank or an investor, I want you to become a partner with me. All the people. Now, I have the idea to have this business. Now, the point is about that, I can actually get access to people who possibly have more money than I do, but they won't be investors, they'll be partners, which is different, obviously. Next, there are actually a few regulations for a partnership, and it can keep accounts confidential. So obviously, as I said, this topic in particular is very changeable in your country. So don't always take this as accurate to your country. You might want to just double check that what I say here is also accurate to your country if you are setting up a business. Anyway, so partnerships do have disadvantages, however. Partnerships do have unlimited liability. They are responsible for the debts should the business go bankrupt. But, as I said before, that is not the same as a sole trader, because a sole trader has to have that on its own, while a partnership is able to split that debt into all of its partners. So that also reduces the risk of loss of, personal assets, which can be a little bit more easier to sort of face than if you're a sole trader and going on your own. So decision making, however, might be very slow, and disagreements and arguments can occur over the direction of the business, because the problem is a partnership is not a share kind of system. A partnership is not a way where you have this amount of voting rights and you got this amount of voting rights. A partnership is more of a kind of discussion kind of area. You've got, okay, let's come to a common goal. And the problem with that is you can't just pull I've got more shares than you, I've got the majority of people who agree with me over you, so this is what's happening. Because people wouldn't disagree. And it's very easy to disagree, because there are multiple decisions that take place here. Now, next comes a little bit of a problem. If a partner dies, the partnership is dissolved, and a new partnership must be formed. Which is obviously a problem if people are, putting all their money into this, and they built up a very nice, big practice, and, then comes along someone dies, and then they go, okay, so how do we continue there? Because new partnership needs to be formed, but if no one wants to join, suddenly you're don't have a partnership anymore. And that leads to a bit of an issue. Profits also have to be shared between partners based on their share of the business. So this cannot be really ever truly fair. It does not reflect effort, workload, or anything else upon each partner. Because a partnership is not, you bought this on the shares. It's, you have the share of the business, which is actually generally split down. But, it should be split down. Oftentimes it is. But that becomes a problem. Obviously, this in some cases actually makes decision making a lot easier if you don't split it down, because then it can become a bit like LTD business or publicly traded business, where you've got people higher voting power. Now, obviously, partnerships are fairly similar to sole trader businesses, except obviously there's more than one person involved. So you could argue that, it's better to choose partnership or sole trader. They're actually quite similar. But you can decide away. So please do join us next time. I know this video was kind of short. Please do join us next time when we'll be talking about more things relating to business, mainly private limited companies. So please, we hopefully will see you then. Please do subscribe to the channel, and please do video videos once again. So yeah, anyway, hopefully see you then, and we'll see you next time. If we don't, then bye.